and these media outlets, they don't want to have a discussion that this film is going to compel.
On July 4th, the #1 movie in America wasn't Indiana Jones. Disney spent $300 million resurrecting Harrison Ford and releasing the summer blockbuster. But there's another movie dominating the box office. It's called The Sound of Freedom, and it beat Indiana Jones on opening day. The film's based off the true story of Tim Ballard, a former Homeland Security special agent who saved kids from an international sex trafficking ring.
It is the fastest growing international crime network that the world has ever seen.
We're Homeland Security. You know we can't go off rescuing Honduran kids in Colombia.
This job tears you to pieces. And this is my one chance to put those pieces back together.
So you quit your job and you go and rescue
The trafficking industry and honors a hero, someone who saved children from slavery. But to the media, this person isn't a hero. Someone who rescues kids from pedophiles is a villain.
These films are created out of moral panics. They're created out of bogus statistics. They're created out of fear. And with something like Sound of Freedom, it specifically is looking at QAnon concepts of these child trafficking rings that are run by the high-level elites.
For some reason, the entire media is smearing this movie as a dangerous conspiracy theory. The press is saying that the star, Jim Caviezel, is a QAnon guy. And Jim plays Tim Ballard, which is strange because just a few years ago, the same media was celebrating Tim Ballard's heroics. Watch.
Tim Ballard has one mission: to track down child traffickers. 4 months ago, Colombian authorities asked him to investigate a tip that children were being sold there as slaves.
Within a half hour.
Yo, they have pictures. They have video. They have so much to back up the fact that all of this stuff is happening around the world. 5,000 individuals who were involved in this were arrested. 6,000 people were saved from their efforts. What am I missing here? How is this not a good thing that they are going after these people who are perpetrating this? This is crazy, man. This is nuts.
This individual walks up to me, starts asking me what I'm here for, what I want, and within minutes, he says, well, I've got kids as young as 11 years old.
So why is the media warning people not to see a movie about child trafficking that's based on a true story? Well, the Spear Fund founder, Tim Ballard, joins me now. So, Tim, why is the media hating this movie?
You know, I can't understand it. The film was made, produced, written like 5 years, 6 years ago, way before anyone heard the name QAnon. I still don't even know what QAnon is.
Me neither, by the way. I keep on hearing that, and people saying that, yo, be careful. If you got that in your videos, then that might be a red flag. You might want to go ahead and take that down. And I'm like, who are they? What do they do? They save children? I mean, what do they do? They getting out there fighting back, and what are they doing? Why is it in relation to this movie right here, or this what's going on in this film? Are they combating child trafficking? Is that what they're doing? We're not supposed to? What am I missing?
Meantime, they're trying to connect it to some conspiracy when, in fact, like you said, this is a true story. These are real kids. I mean, these kids are my friends. They're young adults now, the ones that were rescued. They're going to come out soon and tell their story. It's going to be very awkward when the mainstream media comes after these kids next and accuses them of being part of some conspiracy when, in fact, they were rescued from a life. It's the most bizarre thing I've ever seen in the media, perhaps.
I mean, this publication says The Sound of Freedom is a superhero movie for dads with brain worms, and that it fetishizes the torture of its child victims. Is that what the movie does?
It absolutely does not do that. It tells a story based in truth. And, you know, what I think is happening, Jesse, I think that the left and these media outlets, they don't want to have a discussion that this film is going to compel. A discussion about why 85,000 children showed up unaccompanied at the border and got released into the interior of a country that is the highest consuming country for child exploitation material on the planet. They don't want to talk about why these same publications are pushing an agenda to change the word to minor attracted persons.
That right there is BS. Why are we doing that? Please, somebody explain this to me, because right now it's not looking good for us to even be playing with that idea. Why are we trying to rebrand because that's essentially what we're doing. We're trying to rebrand the word to minor attracted persons. What? Why would we try to rebrand that word? It's just so much going on with this movie is exposing so much about what's happening in the undergirds of our society, in our country, in Hollywood, and all of that.
In order to normalize sexual activity with children. I think that's what they're trying to avoid. And they know this film's going to shine a light on all of the things, all the atrocities happening to children. And so they have to discredit it by lying about it.
So what would their motivation be to discredit a movie that's trying to shine a spotlight onto atrocities committed against children?
Well, if the truth of human trafficking and child exploitation were to be brought to bear, brought to light, then they would have to have a debate, a discussion that they don't want to have about, again, these policies around sexualizing children or allowing children to consent at a young age to do anything and everything.
Why is that a debate they don't want to have? Why is it ever something that we don't want to talk about that will protect our children? It's protecting our children. Why don't we want to talk about it? This whole thing confuses the hell out of me, man. For real.
Which would eventually include being, identifying as an adult perhaps and having sex with pedophiles. I hunt pedophiles. I've been hunting them for 20 years, and they are watching this and they're salivating. They are happy that Rolling Stones and The Guardian are ripping on a movie that exposes them. So I don't like the fact that these media outlets are, in fact, wittingly or unwittingly, running interference for human traffickers and pedophiles.
Yeah, well, I haven't seen the movie yet, but now I want to see it because this thing made such a splash. Tim, thanks so much for joining us, and good luck.
Yeah, he said that they are salivating. They're salivating over this, man, because they don't want to have the conversation. Listen, I'm going to tell y'all like this, man. When the hell are we going to grow up and just decide that? No, when are we going to just consider the fact that if we work together, we can get rid of evil? Regardless of how profitable evil is, we have to make it less profitable. The way we make it less profitable is by taking down the people who are involved in it and stop. We cannot be consumers, period. It's just bad people, man. It's just bad people. Bad people will always exist. The devil, Satan people will always exist. Children will always be in harm's way because of them. And it's unfortunate that some of them have power and they've been able to make friends and build relationships with people in high places to help protect them so that they can do all of the things that they're doing. They can continue to take advantage of us and our children. And as a dad, as a father, as a husband, this right here is scary, man, because it's like you have no control over it. It's like you can't do anything about it. What can you do? What can we do? Especially when we see that there are people out here who dedicate their lives to it, but that's not even accepted by society. And why?